Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, everyone, wherever you are in the world. Welcome once again to another session of Living World of Darkness. This is a scene for the vampire venue. We open up during a fairly lengthy car ride, as at the moment we have three vampires crammed into the back of a pretty nice car. The driver is quiet aside from occasionally checking the GPS to make sure that he's not getting lost or going down any bizarre roads to a completely different part of the state, as tends to happen. As the coterie is slowly but surely making their way across the Google Maps background image to New Jersey, this is where we will begin our scene.
Eliza will kind of look at the rear view mirror back over to Caesar and ask, so you want to run by me what we're doing again, just to make sure I got it right? Did Daryl lose consciousness?
No, Daryl has been muted.
Okay.
And mouse inside his drink cup. But regardless of the fact, Caesar responds, "This is a Nosferatu known as Eddie. He has strength and ties within Jersey and is relatively in a disgruntled mood due to not being invited into a particular gathering within the courts. Though it may not seem, he may not seem large. He does have the connections that could reach further out and be able to branch our influence through parts, and I mean this, and the biggest emphasis, parts of Jersey. This place is nearly completely, as we know, Sabbat controlled. So what we can get through will be limited, but it's better than simply having nothing."
Question. Why is he not allowed?
I believe due to typical prejudices.
Whose prejudice?
With the conversation, or at least more or less with the rumor that I heard amongst the Shreknet, do I remember any details?
You weren't given any details, although him being described as a buddy in Jersey tips you off pretty well that this vampire is not on your team, as it were.
And best way to, I said, well, let's just say he's in a, let's say, a very persuasive condition at this point. I will take full responsibility if anything were to happen, and I'll make sure to take the most risk in this.
Adam will stop filing his nails, hold the nail file to his lips, contemplate for a second, and decide that he shouldn't say the next thing that's on the tip of his lips, and continues filing his nails.
Just to make sure, I actually didn't catch all of what Caesar said, Daryl. I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. He said, particularly about this person, he's in a persuasive condition right now, and he's putting emphasis on that more or less in the sense that this person may or may have had ties with the Sabbat, and due to this basically damage to his ego, he could be persuaded to be less inclined to be with the Sabbat, or less not assist with all their endeavors.
Eliza will say then, just to save political ramifications of this, I'm figuring that whatever happens in Jersey stays in Jersey.
He nods at that. Alright. At this point, as long as we don't offend him any further, he's not going to take the time to follow us back to New York. He'll simply be upset that a Nosferatu, a Ventrue, and a Toreador happened to come by and hear about his plight. As long as we don't...
Eliza, yeah. Are you sure we weren't followed?
So check the rear view mirror. Is there anyone following them?
It doesn't seem like it. There's a little bit of traffic, but most of these cars are just fairly not notable.
Okay, she'll say. We've taken precautions. Doesn't seem like we're being followed, unless someone's using obfuscate on an entire car.
Understood.
And thinking about to Eddie's particular profile on the net. May I roll a either a wits or intelligence psychology roll to possibly get a minor psych profile of this person before I talk to him. At least kind of get an idea of maybe what I should or should not say. I can't get obviously an accurate reading on him until I finally meet him.
The profiles on the ShrekNet are a little too basic for that. They just include a username and, if you're lucky, a profile picture.
Okay. Then I will have to wait until I meet. I do bring up to the rest of them that he has specified a meeting place. I would like to arrive there first, and with you and with everybody else, a safe distance away. I don't want to put you in too far in harm's way until I know that the area is safe for us to all be there. I'll make sure to bring a sign over to you.
All right.
Okay. Is there anything anyone would like to do before you reach your destination?
Hmm.
My blood's still good.
That blood is good.
Yeah, I need to check that. I think I might want to feed, but I probably should have done that back in New York since we're already here.
Yeah, we don't want to start buying things in random places.
Yeah, but I should be enough that I'm perfectly fine, at least socially wise. I have heard of what? Heard of 3, 4. I've heard of 3, and I believe since they are animals, I get a point for every 2. Unless for some reason.
Herd adds dice to your feeding rolls. It doesn't give you blood automatically.
Alright, yeah. And okay, and the last time I played. Alright, I am at 5. Then.
Okay, so do you want to go feed?
No, I don't.
Okay. Then, after a little bit more waiting, the car will pull up to what looks to be an abandoned old gas station. Sort of sandwiched in between much larger buildings. The place is in some serious disrepair, and it doesn't look like it's been used in years. Yet there's no construction equipment or anything that seems to indicate it's going to get torn down. This is the location of the rendezvous.
I'm gonna watch our backs, as Adam says plainly, as he gets out of the car And he takes a defensive position.
Yep. Eliza steps on out too, because in case anything happens, she does have fortitude to cover the team.
And Caesar get out of the car and began branching forward to the meeting place, keeping his eyes open and more or less just trying to get a feel around this place. Though I do not have Auspex, does this place seem to give off a emotional context of, stay away or anything like that?
Looking around, honestly, it just looks like the place is deserted. Most people wouldn't really give it a second glance when they've realized they can't get gas or anything.
Okay.
Even the windows are all boarded up, and if there was anything to loot, it's probably long gone by now.
So abandoned and just simply out the way. A barren place. Okay. All right. And Caesar will start moving. Not gonna move. Not gonna rush or anything like that. Just gonna move in a calm fashion, nonchalantly, if he could.
Can I have a perception alertness?
Sure, if you'd like. What are you looking for?
Just anything. Just like cursory glances. Being super paranoid. Yeah. We go to the thing. Oh, that's ominous. Field trip. Everybody. 3.
You get a pretty good look around this place, and you can catch some cursory signs that it is actually inhabited. There are a couple dead rats lying around that look injured, but there's no blood around them.
Mm-hmm.
You also notice that while it's pretty securely boarded up here in the front, there is a window on the left side that doesn't have any boards on it.
He'll point out the window on the left side.
Caesar will make a minor gesture of acknowledgement and keep that in his mind.
Can we see inside the window, or is it boarded up?
No.
It's the only one that's not boarded up, if I understood Shelby correctly.
Oh, okay.
You can go and peek in it if you want.
Fuck it, I have fortitude.
Alright then.
She's not gonna be getting all up in there being like, hey fam, like it's gonna be like she's kind of wants she just wants to see the layout of the interior a little bit if she can.
Looking inside, the interior looks pretty ransacked. The shelves are all toppled over on top of each other. There is a front desk and a chair behind the front desk. And it is a humanoid figure dressed head to toe in a burqa with its feet propped up on the desk, sort of rocking back and forth on the back 2 legs of the chair.
All right, she's gonna nod, and she will relay to the team that she may have found the person that they're supposed to meet.
Then I will follow Eliza's information, and once I get to a certain part of the building, I like to call over a possible rat, if that's possible, or mouse, just some type of small animal, and basically tell it to find this figure and tell it that there is a person outside here to meet them.
Okay. It's not very difficult to find a rat around here. And once it's been asked nicely, the rat will scurry into the gas station. It'll come back a little while later and it'll say, "Come in," and then it'll scurry away.
All right. Then I will enter the gas station.
Okay. Can climb in through the window. The figure doesn't seem to flinch or anything as you head inside, but rather pulls down the hood of the burqa and reveals actually a surprisingly bat-like face, complete with a squished-in sort of bulldog-like nose and mouth area.
Since he is presenting himself in such a manner, Caesar will present himself as he reveals his face. Caesar will begin to remove the mask and gloves and pull back the hood, revealing his true visage, which is actually somewhat similar to his. It is bestial in nature. It seems almost like in between you can almost say a cat and different type of predators, but it's heavily muscled, and the face seems to be a face in a standard definition, but it seems misformed and possibly hide something despite its supposed natural appearance.
So,
Oh, sorry.
he sort of like holds out his arms a bit, offering to help little old me.
I do believe in helping out family.
Yeah, well, at least someone has some decency.
I try my best. My friend left me helping out actually the postcard that he found on the ground. Man.
Yeah, that's where they're having their little party.
It's just no. He responds, "Are they here just to have fun, or is this something important?"
Well, I was hoping to get the lowdown for some friends of mine, but apparently it's a closed event. Didn't invite any members of my pack along. He sort of like sneers and spits on the ground. After all we've done for them fucking magicians, too.
He will do his best not to lose his composure hearing that. Though a magician is a wide term that still specifies something. Unfortunately, most people can't appreciate good work. They just appreciate the benefits.
Right. So, how do you plan on getting me involved? He sort of sniffs a bit. You don't smell like one of us.
My plans right now to get you involved is I would like some more information. And in my still life of my own life, I'm a doctor, a psychologist to be exact. I have an understanding of people and how to manipulate them, regardless of my shape.
Well, all I figured out was the time and place, and even that took some digging.
I see. So we have a time, we have a place. Do we have a host?
Yeah. They're a pack that call themselves the Magisters Club.
Hmm.
A bunch of fucking assholes.
Reasonable or more just doing whatever they want?
Uppity as hell, I don't know. Get all those mages all bound together and suddenly they think they have the same rights as the rest of us, you know?
Can I have an intelligent kindred lord?
I'm sure if you'd like.
Let's both do it. Although my intelligence ain't that high. It's all right though.
May I spend a point of willpower, Shelby?
Sure.
2 successes with the willpower.
What is that lot? There it is. Straight fail. No bot.
Okay. So, Eliza has no idea what he's on about. Adam can pretty easily put 2 and 2 together. Talking about uppity mages, there's really only one vampire clan that sounds like that. Although, as far as Adam knows, and as far as he's heard, they don't exist outside the Camarilla.
Until today. That might be some shade later. All right, then.
Keep that in your back pocket.
That's, man, hearing that, Caesar goes, let's see, if they're going to be as typical as mages are, they're going to always, as anybody, want something. As far as I know, mages want artifacts and magic things and knowledges, and to nobody and everybody to respect them. I think I can figure out ways to handle that.
He just shrugs a bit. I don't even give a fuck about the party anymore. I want to see those mages put in their place.
And there is a slight grin of agreement. Now that could be arranged. Then I must say, he kind of looks around about if we with the right environment, despite being the city, there's always a chance of animal attacks.
Whatever works. Though if you don't mind doing me a favor, I want one of them brought back alive. And you'll see that, like, he drools a little bit of blood when he says that.
A sacrifice.
A sacrifice. And he snickers.
Doesn't matter the condition. They're just alive.
Just alive.
Adam's eyes go a little wide.
Yeah, I was just kind of looking at Adam like, what?
If they're mages, then at best they'll be paranoid, but they won't be ready for a proper swarm. I'll make sure to put them in the right environment to make them understand their situation clearly. How long would you like me to take on such a task?
Sorry, how long what?
How long does he want me to take on bringing back the magistrate?
ASAP. I'll be watching, so I know if you pull anything funny.
You know where they hang out, or am I gonna have to spread out some feelers?
He shrugs. Might have to meet him at their little shindig.
That's a lot of eyes.
Come on.
Well, if I'm going to capture them, I don't want any disturbance from outside influence, but I'll do the best I can.
I guess you gotta be clever. I'll be here waiting. And he'll kick his feet back and sort of pull the burqa back up over his ugly face.
Adam will talk to Caesar. You sure you don't want to ask anything else?
Through a phone, being on open speaker, he'll simply say, "There's a few more questions I'd like to ask. You have any suggestions?"
What kind of quote unquote mages they are? What are they capable of? Who are they allied with?
He'll look over back to the Nosferatu. These more the fireball type of mages, or something else.
Let's see. I know their head honcho likes to fling fire around a lot, but I think she's the only one.
And I'm always in the mood to bring down ones who shame the family down a peg. But I have to ask, by messing with these fucks, am I going to have to deal with problems involving their friends and family?
Probably. They ain't too popular among our types, but they definitely got their allies.
He nods at that.
Might be best off just snatching one from the event, leaving the others freaking out.
One does not simply snatch a Tremere.
Hey, Oscate's
You
too
get
the
that
hell of
outline
a
I see
discipline.
or what? I mean, if Anthony's saying that, Tim's agreeing.
I say that, like.
Even if it's Adam saying that, Eliza agrees.
I would like some info of the description so I don't grab just a random fool out of the party. I would prefer to be precise.
All right. They have this one member. Real pretty boy.
That could just be a Tory, though. If I'm walking in the middle of this party, it gotta have to be more than that.
He shakes his head. Nah, see, the other one's real sneaky, hard to follow, but pretty boy there. I happened to find some of his feeding locations.
Oh, really?
And he nods. See, pretty boy likes a very, very specific class of prey. And from what I've noticed, he only drinks from beautiful blonde men.
I see.
You, get a handful of them interested somewhere, and he's sure to pop up. He's been hanging out on the island a lot too. I think they're trying to claim it for theirs.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, just like I said, bring one of them back to me alive. I'll consider it even. But if anyone asks, you never saw my ass.
Nobody ever does.
Huh.
And I will do a minor gesture with my head and start putting my face back on, and start leaving the gas station. I pull up the phone that's been open on speaker, and start speaking into it. You heard that, right?
How does this actually help us get influence in this city?
It helps put our foot in the door. You want to start small, not big.
We have our feet in the door.
This is incredibly dangerous, Caesar.
It is. So
So I'm going to ask you again, how does this help us? Exactly.
in this manner right now.
I'm sorry, I actually didn't hear that out of character.
No, he says, in the manner right now, like, very little. This is more of a Nosferatu thing. Though the fact that they're willing to hurt their own means that there's already unbalance, which is natural at the Sabbat. I personally want to start trying to take advantage of that.
So we're basically helping you with the clan now.
This seems personal.
That it is. And you have every right to back out.
I'd like to thank you for the major boon.
As will I.
Of myself, not my clan.
Of course.
Of course.
Then I will honor the price.
She nods.
So, oddly speaking, how were you planning on taking out Tremere and T-Tribune?
Right now, first need to get the blondes. And I need to start gathering. And he starts, and Caesar will stop for a moment. And I like to actually do an animal cry. I want to particularly get crows and pigeons, just birds in general.
All right, where are you doing this animal cry?
I want to do it further out from this section.
Like, are you doing it on the road, on the street? You're in the middle of the city right now.
Yeah, this area is abandoned, right? There is no human eyes watching.
The gas station is abandoned. The other buildings don't look abandoned.
Okay. At this point, I would. Is there any parks or any type of more, I guess you could say, public areas that are prone to animals being nearby, not just simply humans?
Yeah. Where you are right now, it doesn't look like it. You may be able to stop at one of the parks in Staten Island if you want to stop there.
All right. As we're getting into the car, I'll I'll be pointing out to them that I will like to gather a few animals to be reconnaissance. It looks over to Eliza. Uh, you have a way with attractive blonde men?
I can probably have an effect on them.
Then he looks over to Adam.
If I really tried.
Yeah. All right. At this point, before they leave, before we leave this area, if there's any refuse, like particularly wooden refuse.
What are you looking for?
Basically, a stake. So just a wooden plank in general, some wood.
I mean, it's Jersey. Somebody's probably thrown out an old couch or something if you want to pull the wood out of it.
Yeah.
Adam will raise an eyebrow. Excuse me, what? Are we doing this now?
Yeah, we trying to do this tonight?
No, not doing this tonight. I'm just gathering stuff now. You simply said as soon as possible. He'll be more impressed if we do it quickly. But
How do
we
you
also
know
want to do
he's
this
not
right.
trying to get you killed?
Because most Nosferatu don't try to get each other killed unless they did something wrong. This is simply not in our nature.
How do you know it's not being petty?
Yeah, because this whole thing sounds pretty petty. He didn't get invited to a party, so he wants to kill all these people.
That sounds like high school. I didn't get invited to the dance, so now I'm mad as hell.
And he'll bring up the gangrel and the Tremere thing at one of our meetings when it comes to bringing up pettiness.
Listen, that then you should already understand that this is not only petty, it's dangerous.
Yeah, and we're mixing ourselves up in something that, quite frankly, I don't think we really need to.
So, and he nods to that.
Go ahead.
You're saying that we need to, in order to get a foothold in New York City, we go to Jersey and make deals in Jersey. Very dangerous deals in Jersey.
With no guarantee of any type of compensation or help in acquiring said thing. It
Yeah.
seems like said individual wants a free meal, quote unquote, without actually taking any of the risk.
And he nods to that. So, yes, it is extremely dangerous, and this is no different than as a prince would use a fledgling in a cat's paw situation. I understand that as well. I feel, and that's probably a poor word to describe it.
So who are you exactly going to get to help you? Because it is, as per the conversation, for Tremere with that I can gather have a very sizable force that they can even do something so openly and so brazenly.
Have you heard of it?
Sabbat aren't necessarily known to do well with regular folks.
They are definitely more brazen. And Peter will kind of look at Adam. Have you heard of these particular Tremere? I haven't heard anything about Tremere branching off from the tower.
This is something new. If I wanted to be exceedingly petty and ruthless, I could use this to my advantage. But I he just kind of blinks twice. What the natural hell are we doing?
At this point, we're doing a very, very risky investment. That I'm totally up for you. I am totally up, even if you don't wish to follow up on this. I'm paying the price of your involvement to this point.
I'm glad we have an understanding. What exactly? You do know you can die doing this. This isn't even like high clan, low clan nonsense. This is like your life as a kindred.
And when you bring that up, Cedar looks actually down for a moment. He starts messing with his ring finger on his hand.
Did they? That's this is tragic in more than one way, but I don't I can't. Like Adam just kind of like puts up his hands and looks at Eliza. Like
Look, we were put together so that way we can help out this city. And that means there needs to be a degree of trust here. But this is way too far. This is way too much. You got us out here using a lot of vagaries. You're asking us to risk our lives about something that may or may not actually pay off for something that we've already got. Something I could get in a phone call.
shaking my ass a few times, I could get the same results. I don't mean to sound overly critical with your information. I just, with this particular line, I believe you are overly eager for something, and I think your your uh your information guy picked up on that.
And he says, "Give me at least a day, 2 days. I'll come back to you."
I am not.
You don't have to be here. I will simply tell you. I'll simply tell you my further investment into this. This will be purely on me, and I still owe you the major boons.
Are you not comprehending? As he just taps his temple.
Yeah, Caesar, how are you going to get back to Jersey? Or get back to New York?
There's it'd be a large thing in my pocket, but there are not the Uber.
How are
Blinks
you just
twice.
gonna are you just I does obfuscate work like that?
And he kind of, though it is, you can't see him blink. Oh, I travel amongst the cities like this all the time, even without obfuscate.
What?
Huh?
And he says that honestly, like I do. I get stopped and I show them, and he brings out a card. And it seems to be it looks like a medical insurance card. It says I am suffering from acid burns.
You do realize if you if you do this and you don't come back, you weaken the effort that the influence coterie has, and you make you wound the credibility of not just myself, but the primogen of Clan Venture, right?
And that I am not going to tolerate.
My credibility as well. I just made Ancillo. No, Caesar. They can definitely, with this, they can definitely strip me back to neonate. This is a young and reckless move.
All right.
But I've made my case. Adam just stops talking, looking irritated. Eliza, let the desk of the Harpies know that I'm claiming a major boon for this endeavor.
It's already been recorded. As she finishes typing into her phone. All right. Let's get on out of here.
Righty, as the group pulls back into the safe and familiar borders of New York City, and they all go their separate ways, is there anything anyone else would like to do?
All the stuff I think Caesar would be doing would not really involve any major procedures. He'd be talking to particular people, mainly on the net, and trying to best way to put it is get his thoughts together of the situation, because all of them had valid points, and he just sold himself for two major boons. So, people that he has respect for, but doesn't change the fact that he did that so easily.
Okay. Then I believe that this is where we can end our scene. Thank you, players, for playing. Thank you, watchers, for watching. This has been another scene for Living World of Darkness Vampire.